Hi everyone! Today we're going to be reading the story Adventure Annie Goes to Kindergarten. Rise and shine, Adventure Annie, Mommy sings at my door. I hop to my calendar. At last! Adventure Annie Kindergarten Day. Will I have a wild animal zoo adventure? Maybe not today, says Mommy. Will I have a high-flying circus adventure? Maybe after school, says Mommy. What about a daring search and find rescue adventure? Maybe on the weekend, says Mommy. I throw my arms out wide. Well then, what adventure will I have at kindergarten? Sometimes, Mommy says, kindergarten is its own adventure. I give her the Adventure Annie thumbs up. I squizzle back to my room and tuck my zookeeper hat, my high-wire slippers, and my walkie-talkies into my backpack, just in case. Let's go, I sing. We hop to it. I push through the tall glass doors of Pioneer Elementary School. I kiss Mommy goodbye, then knock, knock, knock on the kindergarten door. I burst inside. Adventure Annie is here, I shout. A tall man rushes over to shake my hand. Hello, he says. I'm Mr. Todd. Who are you? I point to the A on my shirt. He glances at his clipboard. Annie Grace? I hold my head and swirl my cape. Adventure Annie. Mr. Todd taps a hook marked Annie, but I wrap myself up tight. I need my cape. Well then, he says, let's find your seat. I follow Mr. Todd straight to a table that matches my red cape perfectly. I slip into a chair between two other kids. I'm Adventure Annie. Who are you? Jose, says the boy. And that's Louise. Louise just ducks her head. On the circle rug, Mr. Todd explains our kindergarten gold star rules. But what about adventures? I asked. You're right, Annie, Mr. Todd says. The most important rule of all is enjoy your kindergarten adventure. Then he taps the shiny gold star. Each day I will choose my gold star deputy. I wave my hand in big circles. Here I am! Mr. Todd looks at me. We don't know who it will be quite yet, Annie. Does it depend on our kindergarten adventures? I ask. He tilts his head to the side. Yes, your adventures with the gold star rules. During morning snack at the red table, I wear my zookeeper hat. I pop wild animal fruit snacks into my mouth. How about a wild animal zoo adventure? Louise and Jose just blink. Behind Jose's chair, I spot 3 squeaky hamsters in a cage. What those squeakers need is a natural habitat exhibit. Luckily, the art supplies are ready for me. The room is quiet. Mr. Todd squats next to me and looks at the cage. Oh dear, he says. Remember the gold star rules, Annie? Take good care of our classroom and everything in it? Oopsie. I hand him the papers. Back to your seat, please, he says. Uh-oh. At the red table, I slide into my high-wire slippers. How about a high-flying circus adventure? But Louise and Jose just stare. Am I the only one looking for gold star adventures? The jungle gym sparkles in the sun just outside the window. While Mr. Todd washes off the hamster cage, I slip out the courtyard door and fly into the empty climber. Suddenly, I see Mr. Todd below me. Remember the gold star rule, Annie. Make good decisions. He points back inside. All during Strawberry Circle and Math Centers, I watch for new adventure opportunities. I imagine that gold star pinned under my chin. Clap, 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 clap. Afternoon snack time, Mr. Todd calls. I need 2 helpers to help to fetch the milk. Who remembers where the cafeteria is? I wave in big circles, but Mr. Todd calls on Louise and Jose. We wait for the milk and wait and wait. Finally, Mr. Todd says, I need a helper to fetch the milk fetchers. They must be lost. This time my waving works. Annie, why don't you go? But remember the Gold Star rule. Use your inside voice. I grab my walkie-talkies and teach Mr. Todd how they work. Then I ziggle and zackle through the whole school. Not in the library, I whisper to Mr. Todd. Not in the cafeteria. Not in the bathrooms either. Give me one more try, I say. I peek in at the door marked Principal. Right there, behind a wagon full of milk, I spot the worried faces of Louise and Jose. I knock, 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 and burst inside. In my loudest whisper, I say, Adventure Annie to the rescue! A short lady comes to meet me. Wonderful, she says. We were just about to walk down to kindergarten. I lead Louise, Jose, and the milk wagon down the hall. We're on our way, I whisper into my walkie-talkie. Way to go, Adventure Annie, says Mr. Todd. We don't stop for a single adventure on our way back to kindergarten. At our closing circle, Mr. Todd calls, Annie Grace, Adventure Annie, I remind him. Then he pins the gold star right beneath my chin after all. Adventure Annie, Gold Star Deputy to the rescue. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story, and I will see you tomorrow.